Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my right, wearing the orange trunks with the blue trim. He weighed in at 181 pounds even. He is making his professional debut here tonight. He is a former 10-year NBA veteran, the only three-time winner of the NBA Slam Dunk Championship. Here he is from Seattle, Washington, Nate Kryptonite Robinson. His opponent fighting out of the red corner to my left, wearing the gray trunks with a black trim. He weighed in at 189 pounds even. He is undefeated, 1-0, 1 KO. He is one of YouTube's biggest stars, fighting out of Calabasas, California, by way of Cleveland, Ohio. Here is Jake, the problem child, Paul.
So the ref calls him in 10-point must scoring system, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round.
Belt line's a little high here. There we go. It's good there. It's going to rise up though, so I'm going to let
Thomas Taylor, the referee there.
I gave your instructions in the back. Protect
and we're just about set to go. Well, Jake Paul predicts a first-round knockout, but Jake has never been in with an athlete of this caliber. Now, Nate Robinson is in his boxing debut, but when you're an athlete, you're an athlete. No really good athlete has been able to cross over into boxing and be really successful. Many have tried and few have been successful, but Nate Robinson is such a great athlete and might be giving some problems to this kid Jake Paul. See, right away the athlete goes after Jake Paul because Jake made this statement. And of course Jake is fighting, you know, for, I think he's got 20 million followers on YouTube, so he's fighting to keep this going. I'm sure he's going to have this fight on YouTube, and that's what it's all about. But Nate Robinson, as I told you, is an athlete.
No punch, straight back, guys. Got to let go.
You know, somebody has been working good with him, namely Francisco and Leonard Reyes, and they told him if he gets in tight, to just tie the guy up, and that's what he's doing and walking him back. So he has been coached. Jake Paul again defeated another YouTube star, and I'm not sure what kind of an athlete he is, although I know he's a smart guy. Anybody, according to Forbes magazine, in 2018 made $21.5 million on YouTube.
Stop the wrestling. Stop the
wrestling. The ref saying, watch those heads now, guys. Nate come out, took a light right hand to the right side.
Let him go, Nate.
And Nate just ties him up.
All right, stop. No punch. No punch. Let him go. Okay.
So not exactly a classic boxing match, so Thomas Taylor will have his hands full.
Sorry. Let him go.
Robinson fights in spurts. He'll throw a couple of punches and then grab the guy. And that's the way for an amateur fighter really to try to fight a guy who believes he's tough in Jake Paul.
Nate,
how tough Jake is, I don't know, but he could use getting his jab out there a little bit more. He's head hunting with his right hand, and every time he comes in, you see what Nate Robinson does. That's a survival thing. He's doing a decent job getting one punch off. He gets the jab out. He's in real good condition. Look at the condition of his back muscles, and he's trained for this fight. But no professional athlete wants to be embarrassed in anybody's sport.
All right, stop.
Flipped inside by Jake Paul with the right hand. Jake, he got clipped on the chin and he went down. That wasn't a slip, that's a knockdown. Counts up to 5 and 6. He must have got hit with the right hand. And he's trying to get up, and he does get up.
Look at you, Nate. Turn around, Nate. Turn around.
If he wants to fight, he's going to have to tell the ref, this is boxing. This isn't like hitting your head in the rim in a slam dunk contest. These things happen in boxing. So that is scored as a knockdown, and it came close. And now he throws him down that time. That's a slip, as you see Thomas Taylor waving it off. And whether Nate Robinson wants to fight anymore is a big question.
Let's go.
A little staggering on his feet in the closing seconds of the round, but all he's doing is sort of bum rushing him, and the closing seconds come up here to round number 1. There's the bell. So not exactly a classic, but we'll show you a replay of what happened there to see him go down. So Robinson is down, so that's a 10-8 round.
I want your mouthpiece. Give me your mouthpiece. Drink water and don't cheat. Throw it right there. I want you to be relaxed and breathe. I know that. I see. I see. Okay? Don't worry about it.
I'm good.
Okay? Don't worry about it. Listen to me. The uppercut you throw, you feel it. Okie dokie?
Yep.
So remember, we go to the fucking body.
Okay, let's take a look at this knockdown and see what happened. He's bum rushing him.
You know how, cabrón.
He gets hit up in the back of the head, and down he went. It looked like a clean shot to me behind the ear. And here we are again. He comes in and gets, oh, you get hit in the back of the head. I see what he's complaining about.
Nate, let me
And
see your
he's
mouthpiece.
stretched out right there.
Back up for me all the way.
And then this
All the
is
way.
the slip
Nate.
where he's just thrown
Watch
down.
that holding, right?
But that you know, he was inside. The guy threw the punch and he clipped in the back of the head. Nothing intentional. Nothing.
No punch.
It's still
Watch
an
the holding,
illegal
guys.
blow, but the ref didn't even warn him about it because of what's happening in this
All right,
fight.
stop, no
Is that Jake Paul is trying to box and Nate Robinson is just, like I said, bum rushing. Now he's fighting as a southpaw. He really doesn't know what he's doing in there, and he's in
right, stop,
survival
no punch.
mode.
Stop,
and every
stop.
time they engage, he grabs
You're doing a lot
on,
of holding. You got it.
and
You're doing a
the
lot of
referee
holding.
is saying you can't do that. You just can't keep grabbing it. Here he attacks again.
Let him go,
Now
Jake.
he puts his arms
Stop,
up
stop,
in the
no
air,
punch.
and when your
Strike,
arms are
strike.
free, the ref's going to let you fight. So this is kind of a sloppy one. I thought it might be a little bit more interesting because of the athletic prowess of Nate Robinson,
no
but
punch,
he's
no punch,
clearly
right there.
just
Stop.
not a fighter.
Break it. You guys gotta let go when I
Meanwhile,
say let
Jake
go.
Paul's not doing a bad job at all. He's pretty athletic. In that first round, oh, he caught him with the right hand that time. And I don't know if he's going to get up from this one. That was an overhand right hand. It's up to 6,
7,
and 7, and 8, and 9.
You okay, Nate?
And he
Nate,
lets
look
him
at me, Nate.
continue, so he's
Walk
been
to your
down
sincere, please.
in both the first
Walk
and
back.
second round. That
Look at
was
me.
a clean
You wanna
knockdown
continue?
that time.
Give me your gloves. Give me the gloves.
Ask him if he wants to
Protect
continue.
yourself.
And he's going, yeah. But believe me, he doesn't want to continue. And Jake Paul is full of... Oh, he nailed him right on the chin, and it's good night, Mr. Robinson. So tonight,
Stay here, buddy.
this was not Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. Whoa. Down 2 times, down hard the second time. Maybe Jake Paul is a pretty good athlete. He certainly handled a guy that I expected to be, well, before I say anything, let's make sure that Nate Robinson is okay, because that last one
So you want
starched
to turn this way? Nate, turn to your
first
left.
round.
Turn to your left side.
The knockdown, you saw the replay of that. But this last one, he got nailed right in the chops. And boxing is not for everyone. Certainly not for Nate Robinson. And Nate's a guy that has aspirations of going back and playing basketball again. Whether he plays in Europe or the Middle East or the NBA is a question, but this guy got hit right on the button, and I don't think you'll see Nate Robinson in a prize ring again. He gave it all he had, the athlete that he is. Jake Paul predicted a first-round knockout, which we thought just to build up his YouTube audience. But the kid's a bit of an athlete. Because remember, this is a great athlete, and he's still not got his legs back. Nate Robinson knocked out in the second round. Jake Paul predicted a first-round knockout.
Right down, Nate. Right down. Straight down.
And the way
straight
this
down.
fight was
Nate,
going,
sit
you
down.
knew that
Sit down.
Nate was going to be around long. Besides, grabbing is about all he could do. Still trying to get his head clear. He seems all right. He's breathing okay.
Yeah, we got it.
Well, watch this knockdown. This is the first one is coming up. Boom. That's the one right in the temporal bone, which knocks him down. And here's the same knockdown, another shot of it. He comes with the uppercut, taps him with the left hand, then he walks into that one, which spins his head and drops him again. And this is a third look at that one again. He catches on the temporal bone. But you could see as his chin was going to kiss the mat that his eyes were fairly clear.
Hey,
And this is the end of the fight.
it's all right. It's all right. We're good.
And this time, when he got nailed, he was hurt. So 3 knockdowns in 2 rounds. And now we'll have the official particulars
Los
for Barry
Angeles,
Eggert.
the time 1 minute 35 seconds into round number 2 for the winner by way of knockout and still undefeated from Calabasas by way of Cleveland, Ohio. He is the problem child, Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, pretty good athlete, YouTube star, all kinds of entertainment in his background, but he's a multi-millionaire from what he does on YouTube. And, you know, for all I could see against a really good athlete, certainly superior, it looked to be a boxer. I'd have to see more of him. You know, he's only 23 years old. Maybe he could, you know, get a few fights and make something of himself as a boxer. Good-looking kid. You can see why he's a star, and we're still waiting to make sure that Nate is okay. His eyes seem clear now as the medal from the president of the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, goes around his neck. So a very successful night for Jake Paul, who scores a second-round KO victory. Well, our big one is coming up next. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. Jim Gray, I understand, is going to go in and do an interview in just a moment. They don't like to interview a fighter until they're 100% sure that Nate Robinson is okay. But they're getting set up for Jim Gray to go in there and have a chat with Jake Paul, and maybe even Nate Robinson if Nate is okay. But Jim is in there, and as soon as I see that he's set, we will give the microphone to him. Here's Jim.
All right, Mauro, thank you very much. Well, you were the problem child. Tell us what happened there. You connected and put Nate Robinson down a couple of times. Tell us about the last shot.
Yeah, I was overhand right. You know, he was better than I expected. He's athletic, super strong, obviously. First and foremost, I just want to, you know, say thank you to Nate. He's the one that originally called me out. I respect him, and his boxing career, or I mean, his basketball career has been amazing, and I don't want to take anything away from him. It takes a lot of balls to step in the ring. Not a lot of people can do that. And this, you know, this means a lot to me. It just feels good to win.
You've trained for this, and this is what you want to do for a living. This is his first fight, and even though it's only your second fight, there seemed to be a big experience difference here tonight. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been training my ass off, like, for the past year. I'm taking this seriously. There's a long list of opponents that I want. You know, Conor McGregor, Dylan Dennis. I'm gonna knock them both out.
That's what you want to do next?
You know, there's my brother, there's KSI on the line, Austin McBroom. You know, I want to be in this sport for a long time, and I'm in love with it, so why not?
What made you decide that this is what you want to do?
For me, my whole life has been a fight. And so fighting, you know, it's something I'm great at. Being from Ohio, a small town, and making my way out to Los Angeles to fame and success, and just fighting for it, fighting for everything. And people never believing in me, people hating me, being one of the most hated people in the world. Like, you know, I have to fight through that. It's not easy. And so for me, this is a perfect sport. I found my lane. You know, just 4 weeks ago, I was meditating, fell flat on my face, broke my nose, and we weren't able to spar until a couple days ago. So I had to come into this fight with a broken nose. So this
How do you fall on your face meditating?
I passed out. I was like, and I passed out on the concrete. It's on camera, boxing. I have a boxing documentary coming soon. So stay tuned for that. But now it's time to focus on my music. Park South Freestyle out now. Music video, go crazy.
Last thought here. Are you willing to be patient with this? I mean, you're a guy who has so much popularity. It's instant fame. You've catapulted. Are you willing to be patient with a boxing career? Because you can't do this overnight.
100%. I'm willing to be patient. I'm only 23 years old. Deontay Wilder started boxing when he was like 21. So I have a long future ahead, and I'm just getting started. And I talk a lot of shit, but I back it up. And, you know, actions speak louder than words.
Jake, congratulations.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Jim Gray. He's a legend. Israel Adesanya. Izzy, what's up, boy?
All right, Mauro. Mario.
The Colonel Bob Sheridan back here Jake Paul, kind of a character. We'll take a look at the fight as it unfolded. I thought it was going to be more interesting than it was, but it eventually worked out that Nate Robinson, somebody coached him into, throwing a punch and then hanging on, but he got hit in the back of the head in that first round and he went down. And then in the end, he got clipped real hard by that one to the temporal bone, and that was pretty much it. As you see the replay of this again, right there, he caught him, and that's all she wrote for Nate Robinson, who was eventually down 3 times in the first 2 rounds of the fight, leading to Jake Paul winning on a second round, a knockout. And you heard him when he talked to Jim Gray that he's real interested in being a fighter, knows he has to be patient, and so that's the situation.